but two players on the Orioles that haven't really gotten going. And we have another graphic for you. And that is, if I can find it.
I got
Is it in here, Brad? Oh, there you go. It's about Adley Rutschman and Cedric Mullins are the two hitters that we are specifically referring to. And Adley so far in the series is 1 for 8. He had a double in the game last night, 1 walk, 1 K. And unfortunately for Cedric Mullins, he's 0 for 8, and he was very close to having a ball leave the yard the other night or last night in game 2. But the Orioles offense, if we're going to do a positive here, those two guys are yet to get going. And personally, I still think Cedric's just grinding through his injuries, and it's been really hard to try to get back on top of that. From your guys' perspective, I'll let either of you guys go, because this is where it's going to tie in. If we're going into game 3 for the Orioles, and actually, Brad, let me start with you. Reason for optimism for the Orioles heading to Texas for game 3, down 2-0.
Well, if there's a team that you want on the road, it's the Orioles. They have the best road record in baseball, and so and let's not forget that the O's haven't been swept since May of last year. So for them to lose 3 in a row could be highly unlikely. Now, obviously, playoffs are a completely different story, and they should be treated differently, of course. But the odds of them winning this next game are quite high given the way that they've treated the entire season. And I have a lot of confidence in them going down there into our Arlington tomorrow.
Yeah, I think the biggest point of optimism for me is the entire leading up to this series. It was get to the Rangers bullpen, and then we can play ball. And, the first game, even the second game, the Rangers did an incredible job of getting the right guys out there. And then in the 8th and 9th inning, you could tell it was like the Orioles found the kink in the armor.
Yeah.
And they got that confidence. And suddenly you could see in every single at bat, it was no longer, okay, how are we going to do this? It was, I want to be up there, because, there were times it was 11-8, and I was sitting there and I was like, are they about to do this? And it's crazy with this team. Like they never give up. They're never going to put their head down. They're just always going to keep going. And that's why, like you said, best record in baseball on the road. Something's got to give. I mean, Texas is good at home. We're good on the road. So it's two teams in their comfort zone. And, if the Orioles can get to that bullpen, I think they've got the confidence back that, hey, we can swing it with these guys.
And I'm right there with you. And that's why I wanted to bring up the Adley Rutschman, Cedric Mullins struggles, is because two of your guys that can make an extreme impact haven't swung the bat well this series. And in the blink of an eye, the flip of a switch, that can change. And it really can take, for Cedric, he's a guy laying down a bunt, using his speed. Adley he did have the double yesterday, obviously, but I tell you, as a hitter, man, you get a bat that just right off the get jammed, shatters your bat, hurts your hands, but you get a knock, that thought unlocks in your head of like, there it is. So for that, that's first and foremost with those guys. Hey, pressure's off the Orioles now. They got nothing to lose at this point. I don't care if everyone's saying that they're the number 1 seed. And also keep this in mind, a little fun fact. The Rangers and Orioles split this season series, right? Mm-hmm. The road team won the first 2 games of each series. So meaning when the Orioles went to Texas, the O's took the first 2. Texas came to Baltimore, they took the first 2. This DS series, Texas came to Baltimore and took 2. So if we're going to go in that order, why not the Orioles going down to Arlington and to Texas and take 2 there? This series isn't over. And you've come this far, anyone, to doubt this team. What's it going to take for one more game? But Zach, I saw you tweet this out.
Yeah.
It just takes one.
It just takes
one game. Just takes one game.
I've been, my big thing the past 24 hours is I am as much as possible embracing 2004 Kevin Millar in the fact that I think I love the quote, if there's ever a group of idiots that could pull this off, it's these guys. And I think that just perfectly just embodies what this team is like. It's just a bunch of guys going out there, having fun. And if there was ever a group that wasn't going to care that it's 2-0, they got to go win 3 straight, it's this team. And like I've said a million times, if you're the Rangers, you got to win. You got to win Tuesday. because when you give this team confidence, it is very hard to get rid of it.
Especially with their guy on the mound. Evaldi's going for him, so time will tell. Hey, Brad, any closing thoughts with the series or with game 3 coming up?
Man, I think Zach hit the nail on the head. I was actually going to reference Millard too. You know, it's not unheard of, unlike other sports, for a team to go down like this, 0-2, and then come back and get a sweep. So you know, listen, there's odds stacked against the O's, but that's kind of how it's been all season. No reason to believe that they can't beat the odds here.